Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, everybody.
Hey, Bram, how are you doing? Thanks for stopping by.
Morning, Bram. Morning, Bram. Morning, Matt.
Today, I made the chivalrous decision not to go live while Jen was tweeting, and it just wasn't as much fun. So prepare
Shibble.
for a return
Very
next week.
shibble. No, thanks for warning me, giving me a whole week's notice. You brought down that band hammer super fast. What?
Man,
Get
I was
out of
on it.
here.
It's because I wasn't distracted by when to go live because I was waiting for you, and I was like, I don't want followers. I don't want
It's
followers.
right, Bram. Quick work. Quick work.
Oh, 11/11. Happy Veterans Day to everyone out there. Happy Veterans Day.
Well, thank you to our veterans.
But you don't want to be famous. What's fam like fam o fam zero us? No, I don't
Oh,
want to be
that's like
famous.
it's like totally different meaning. Fam
Although Jen
zero.
and I were talking about how many Facebook friends I had.
Oh yeah. Well, you were talking about it, and I was trying to ignore it. And what were you saying? You can repeat it.
I was just
Repeat.
trying to talk about like I wonder how many people from like my past have taken a look at Keymaster because
Oh,
of like a random retweet or something on Facebook. Not a retweet, but you know what I mean. But I'll be honest, I just am so disconnected with people. It's I've had a lot of people in and out of my life.
but not in and out of Facebook. They're still there on Facebook for you.
Just holy moly! And then it's like all these suggest like anytime I actually get on Facebook and they're like, "Here's all your suggestions for friends." I'm like, "Oh yeah," I'm like, I know a lot of them, and it's
Hmm.
like, wow,
Queued up. My Facebook friends have slowly list has slowly been diminishing with how little I use it.
1,210 friends.
Did you know you had that many friends, Matt?
No, but I mean like the vast majority. I mean these are like real.
They are real people.
The
I
real people.
know.
At some point, I had a real relationship with them. I like was always
Well,
the
that is interesting. Like when you think about it, like you quantify the people that come and go from your life, and when you put a number like that, I don't think about the number of people in my life at any given point in time as being a number that high, but we process and manage a lot of relationships in our lives.
yep.
So, when people talk about that here for a minute, here for what is it? There people are in our lives for a reason, a season, or forever. Uh, the reasons and seasons don't necessarily have to be bad things.
Yeah.
Just we do a lot as human beings. We manage a lot of things.
Also, it's like almost impossible to figure out gals who changed their last name because they got married.
Really,
Because
that's really hard for
I feel
you.
like there's that college gap where like you just meet a lot of people in college.
Oh man, welcome to Matt's hole that he's digging for himself this morning. Keep going. We'll
I'm just
we'll
saying
all, we'll sit here and watch.
it's really helpful when someone includes their maiden name as the
For who?
for me. I don't think I. But there's also like this like a lot of these gals like I just I'm not gonna continue to have a relationship with. I'm not. I don't know. Like you could anyway. Yeah, you're right. I am digging a hole because I started thinking about like all the anyway. All right, digging a hole.
Why and why those women's choices, personal choices for how they adjust their names is totally needs to be with Matt's personal feelings in consideration.
But here's what I will say. I just while
I
looking at
will.
this, I just saw a friend from a long time ago, and I was like, I wonder what's going on with them. And so
And
I'm
then did you reach out to ask?
well, no, I'm on stream right now, Jen. Don't make me
Did you
do something
just
like
see
this.
it? Are you talking about something that just happened?
I mean, I just saw someone
Okay, I
as
got
I
it.
was
I
looking
didn't
at my
understand.
friends.
I
Yeah,
didn't understand that you were talking about like I'm also looking at Facebook while I'm streaming right now, and now everybody knows.
yeah. I'm like a you know super talented multitasker. Jen can
A-
attest to
a-
this.
Absolutely, you are not. Um, do you ever feel? I mean, not that you're on Facebook, because we all try to not be as much as possible, but Do you ever feel like I find it really hard to share work stuff on Facebook on my personal feed? Does that happen for you, Matt?
I mean, I
Not
just
because I'm not
don't.
proud of it. It's not I'm not proud to work here. Just it's a little self-aggrandizing.
Yeah, I
And
get that. I mean, when we were launching Keymaster, and it's like you're trying to drum up excitement and energy, like
and you
you
should
know,
start with that circle. You should absolutely start like who are the people you can touch immediately, right? So you start. That's not the wrong place to start. It's very hard for me.
yeah.
To want to solicit essentially those relationships, those people relationships that
I
I
think
have.
at some point, like, um, also you're trying to protect against social media becoming a platform for your business. Like, it's like if I'm sharing something about my business,
Mm-hmm.
then I'm really talking about my business, not me.
I'm just yeah. Then
And
it's
what's the
just
line there?
yeah.
How do you? What are you doing both?
I mean,
I mean, some people
sometimes
figure
the,
out
the
that.
line's super blurry when we work all the time, man.
Jen, we're trying something new today, right? We're gonna jump into
Mm-hmm.
our game immediately and just
We're
chitty
gonna do
chitty
it.
chat chat.
Yeah, yeah. I'm ready.
Jen has been talking smack all week long, asking for that AZUL rematch.
That's right. I let you off easy last week. Game immediately. Let's go. Yeah, let you off easy last week. So, if I lose again today, I've earned it for sure.
Let the tiles fall ever in your favor.
I won't
Hashtag
click,
Team Jen.
click back over to this.
We're
So
gonna
we're
try
playing
because we're
Azul again.
here's the thing. We're trying to play a game and actually still talk through it.
Yeah. You know what
Uh,
happened? Wait, here's what happened last week. We played this game and we taught it, and then I got my butt kicked. We had a topic. It was about Moneyball, and we were like, we're gonna come back and talk more in depth about Moneyball. And we absolutely did not do that at
because we
all.
were just like thinking
We
about the
were,
game,
we were just in game mode.
thinking about playing the game. Today, though, we're gonna do some of the more lighthearted things, the things that just come that don't require, like pausing and using the right words. We can use the wrong words and it still be fun. Okay.
That's right.
But first, Jen's got to
Okay.
make her first move.
All right. I'm making a power move. Let's go.
I mean that's a good move, just kind of saying, hey, that blue's right in the middle. So okay, I get it. But you really need this blue right here, so I'm just gonna take that off the board for you.
There you go.
You
That
also
has
don't
not.
need 3 blacks because hey, look, you already used your 3 slot. That was just like the most aggressive hate
It was
draft.
good. It was like so also in the last week, Matt has like how many times have you played this game now, Matt? You went from 0 times to how many times now?
I've only played it 3 times now. This is
Okay.
my 4th time.
Okay. All right. I hadn't thought past turn one.
This might be my 3rd. No, it might be my 4th. I did have a good conversation with a guy in my game group about it Tuesday night, and we were just talking about the differences between this and Summer Pavilion. I think Summer Pavilion's scoring is more interesting, but I think this drafting is just whoo. This is great. This is some great drafting right here, top notch.
Now you're making me think that I should put it on the table and bring it with us for the weekend trip.
This seems good to me. Speaking of weekends,
Weekends.
Jen's got tomorrow off. I've got tomorrow off.
Yeah. Matt, what are you doing tomorrow?
I'm flying to Colorado Springs. Hang out with my
Whoa.
brothers for the weekend.
Whoa.
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 I have
That's pretty cool.
4. Well, I've got 3 brothers, and then a brother-in-law's coming. And then my dad. My mom was a last-minute addition. She was like,
Okay.
"Dad, don't leave me at home." And he was like, "Okay, fine." Which is great. And we're going to Colorado Springs. That's where a lot of my family lives, extended
Like,
family, and
moms are great.
we're gonna do some hunting. So I apologize if that offends any of you out there, but
Okay.
hella looking forward to it. Let's go.
You said you were gonna do some clays, right?
Yep.
You're starting with clay shooting, and then And then birds. Some birds.
Yep.
That was rude. That was rude, Matt. That was rude.
I love the situation. It's not a great situation for me because you're going to get um, 2 of these, and I'm only going to get 1. But it also just blocks you out from the like you're going to have to take a negative point on the blacks if you take the blacks. You took the blacks. Interesting.
I think I had to.
I mean, the reds would have been fine for you, maybe.
The reds would have been okay, but then you would have definitely left the yellows for me. So.
Which is true.
And true. I didn't need 6 negative points to open up the game.
You know what I didn't need to start the game? Yeah, that's fine.
See, and that's still, it's not great for me, but
yeah, it's good.
It's yellow's all the way away, but that's all right.
All right, so this is a good first round. Good first round. I want everybody to rate first round. Queued up. Hunting doesn't offend me, but I went once and it just bummed me out.
Oh.
Sorry. That like it wasn't fun, or it's like, oh, just the idea that I'm hunting an animal and the actual experience. That was like, oh, it's not for me. Makes sense.
I've been a target shooter.
Shooting skeets. So fun.
I would love to do skeet shooting at least once. This is one of those you try it once kind of things, you know? What does Matt want? What does Matt want? Let's do this.
He wants you not to score points. That's what he desires most in life. Oh, yeah.
Got a couple of options. Feeling pretty good about the options. Trying to pay attention to Matt a little bit.
There's a lot of good opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we start here. We start here, right here. Not qualified to rate your round. I find this game fun, but hard to get past mechanics to ultimate scoring strategy. One of the things that I've really focused on lately, well, when I say one of the things lately, like I just started playing this game a week ago, is just trying to build up a section of the board and focus on not only trying to complete columns, but trying to work on columns and blocks at the same time. It is a very spatially demanding game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Okay, we'll go here. Grab those 2. And this right here.
Okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's just fine.
And this is where you get into I can do the math of like who would, if I don't touch this black. So
well, this is that's a similar mathy thing to Seven Wonders Duel.
Grab those. She grabs those. Right, I grab those. She grabs those. I grab those. Yeah, Jen, I'm really sorry. But these blacks are going to hurt.
You could also use them.
Nah. Jen's got a hard pill to swallow right now. Jen has to decide if she wants to grab those 5 black.
Shh, Matt.
Now.
I'm thinking. I have to think.
Other entertainment thing. Let's see. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah, yeah. You
that's what
weren't
I
thinking
have coming
about
ahead.
that, Matt. Go ahead.
I think that was great. That was probably your best move, best opportunity right there.
Keto also said I'd shoot some targets, so that'd be fun. Just felt bad afterwards, but I'd shoot some targets. So target shooting is a lot of
Turkish
fun,
is a
and
lot
I
of fun.
feel it feels very skillful, which I really appreciate.
I need y'all to let me know. So my brothers and I, we all get in at like noon tomorrow, and we don't have dinner plans until 6 at my uncle's house. So what should we do for 6 hours in Colorado Springs? Options are hike. It's a good option.
There's
Option
there's a museum, a Fool's Gold museum there that you can go. I mean, when I was there, when I was a kid, I remember going, and I remember it being a lot of fun. Probably because I was like 7. But it's pretty interesting. Fool's Gold, the history of Fool's Gold in that area, so Colorado Springs, was basically people hadn't gone far enough west, I think, to get. Yeah, take it, Matt. Take that negative point.
Well, I mean, I think that though I just netted 6 points off that move, so I net 5 points off that move. The pinch it for more later. I'm liking it.
It's fine. I just needed to not put all of those down in my negative pile. That's all.
Matt's 450. Just got myself a copy of Park's really good game. Hey, thanks, Matt's. That's awesome.
Thanks for picking up Parks. Happy hiking. Gonna have to sit with some stuff unfilled though. Feels good. Feels good to make you do that.
So my real question is dropping 2 points, just going like, hey, I just don't want this blue in my bottom row. Is that the right play? I don't think so. I think I can commit to this blue bottom blue. It's fine. We'll figure it out. Those little L's, like that red 2 you did right there for +4, yep. That was pretty good.
Yeah, I needed it to make up for.
Currently 17 to 7.
Wow.
So there's that.
Sugars.
And I get to go first.
And you get sugars. It's cool. It's fine.
Not enough blues though. This is a rough blue round though. I'm not feeling that. That pretty much just sucks. Oh, this round is going to be brutal, Jen.
I think for both of us probably.
Hold on. I just need everybody. So what should we do for the 6 hours tomorrow? I'm thinking I want to get my brothers to go see The Last Duel with me.
Oh, you're gonna get to see that before. I'm gonna get to see that.
I was thinking about going to see Eternals, but has anybody seen it out there?
I heard a really good review of Eternals.
Really, I was with people last night, multiple people who said like just some of the worst dialogue in the MCU yet. That makes me sad.
Really?
Bad chemistry between main characters.
I mean, I saw a review that was basically the exact opposite, that it was some of the best storytelling in the MCU.
Huh.
So far. That's
interesting. You know what? Here's the deal. You know, we talk about movies on here a lot. They're so impactful. Last night, playing Dungeons and Dragons, we talked about movies for 45 minutes instead of playing Dungeons and Dragons. We're still talking about Dune, y'all. Still talking about Dune.
Because it's so good.
Yeah, just what a...
I haven't done my second rewatch, man.
Haven't done your second rewatch yet?
Yeah.
That's fine. Well, this is just a mess. We are going to take some negative points, Jen. This is all about preventing the bleeding. That's what this is about. Man.
Bram says I've been pretty pumped about Kumal being a Marvel superhero, so I definitely want to see it.
Okay.
It's just there's a lot of yeah, 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 yeah. That's fine, Matt.
If I didn't take that move, Jen, I'm pretty sure I'm taking like -8 points in this round because of the way this came out and how I've kind of put myself in a corner. Put myself in a corner. Oh, interesting. I mean, I think that's good. I mean, that's a 5 point move for you.
That's what I'm just trying to do. 5 point moves. Gotta catch up. Top row is 5 points. That row is 5 points. It's been a lot of entertainment this past week too, Matt. Where to start?
It's a great question.
Aside from AZUL, been playing a lot of other good games.
I did. I played Brass this week.
You played Brass.
First time back to Brass in like 6 months, and holy moly,
Missed it.
did I miss it?
Oh, hey.
Hello, Mr.
Mr. Stone IV.
Thanks so much for the follow and for joining us.
And for the host.
Holla.
Good morning.
Oh man, this
you
this
played Brass
got
again?
Me
I played Matt. I played Unsettled for the first time this week.
Oh, that's right.
This past weekend. Oh, I was so excited to put that on the table. So excited, y'all. It's very cool, very interesting. But also what I loved, I told Matt this. What I loved about it, is that so even though you're exploring and there's all these different planets, right? They've made 6 different planets that you can go exploring on. The thing I realized I loved the most, and this is, I have what's the Ryan Lockett boat adventure one?
Sleeping Gods.
Sleeping Gods. Have that. Very excited to play that once we have our table, and once we have our gaming table and can do that. But and can keep it down below, so we can keep it out and don't have to keep setting it up. But I loved how contained the whole gaming experience was. Like, we finished, we lost. # we lost first game.
Spoilers.
We saw the error of our ways. Very interesting, compelling, puzzly times. But then it was done. We packed up and we're like, cool. Like, no strings attached to that gaming experience other than we learned a little bit about the system and are ready to go do it again. And the rule book, Rebecca commented, she was like, wow, these felt like really easy rules, felt good. And I think the rule book is a little long for, like, it is actually a pretty streamlined, straightforward game. So it was a little bit of a lengthy rules experience for that to be the outcome. But I'm really excited to dive back in. And I'm going to dive back into this turn.
That's funny, Jen. I started watching A River Runs Through It.
Oh, yeah?
Just a little bit of it. And it's always, if you've never seen the movie, it's a 90s Robert Redford movie. Brad Pitt's in it. It's about 2 sons of a Presbyterian minister in Missoula, Montana, and the different paths in lives they took. And it's got this analogy of fly fishing that is played throughout it. But at the beginning, one of the characters is, they do their homeschooling, and the dad, the line is, "My dad, being a good Scot, taught me the proper way to write or to do English." And it's like him bringing a paper down, and he's like red marking it up, and he goes, "Now half as long." And 3 times he goes to his dad to bring the paper, and every time it's like, now half as long, now half as long. Someone needed to do that for Orange Theory in this one.
Yeah.
Not Orange Theory.
That's, yeah.
Orange Nebula. And let's see, Valake, what a little late to the party day. What fun hip discussion did I have? We were just talking about entertainment, what we've been watching, what we've played. I've played Brass, played D&D, talked about movies. I got a trip this weekend, and we're trying to decide if I should go see The Last Duel or Eternals with my brothers.
I think they should go to the Fool's Gold Museum. He wants to go travel halfway across the country to Colorado Springs and go watch a movie. In the all the while, I'm going down to Ocean City, New Jersey this weekend. Just a little shore weekend. New Jersey, known for its shores. This is down a Southern Shore Point. Very excited. It's going to be a game weekend. It's us and another couple. We're sharing a condo for the weekend. Play some games. Go look at the. Okay, Matt. Go look at the water. And there's also apparently a really fun arcade down in Ocean City that I'm excited to try out. I probably should have just eaten that, but I wanted to make sure I got that at least. I don't know if you would have taken it. Would you have taken that yellow? I have questions.
Was it 1 yellow or 2?
It was 1.
No.
Yeah.
Would not have taken that yellow.
All right. I should have taken something else instead. It's fine.
Mr. Stone, we played Brass Birmingham. It is my most played game of the last 2 years by far, and it is just perfect.
The lake water does look good. At this time of year, my mom was like, "Can't you just stick your toe in the water for me?" I was like, "No, absolutely not."
Negative.
Huh.
That was an interesting round. That was did not like that draft. Jen definitely just caught up. She very much caught up to us. I mean, I'm still up 6, but the gap is shrinking. And she gets to go first. Oh, look at that! She's got that 3. She's got that 3 teal right there. Seems pretty good.
Not gonna do it.
And also, just not enough blues again.
Because that's gonna be fun. Yeah, I'm definitely. Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Oh man, there's a lack of doubles here.
Got some red there.
Not in love with the double red. Okay, let's just start here. Chip away at it, y'all. That's what we gotta do.
Oh gosh, Matt doesn't really. Wow, you just planted that flag, and ooh, that's rough.
Yeah, Jen, you're screwed. You're screwed this round. Wow. I mean, honestly though, you could. There's some decent setup for you, but man, you're just in a kind of in a world of hurt, Jen. I mean, we're both in a world of hurt. This just looks rough. Holy moly. Let's see. Okay, so we missed some. Valake. I found an arcade in Nashville that we're going to go to yet, but it's $12 for all the access to free pinball and arcade games.
Let's go. Seems
$12 for free.
That seems like
free
a great
pinball. That's the important. $12 for free pinball versus free arcade for paid pinball. That's the two business models.
The difference is, what do you actually want to play? Jen wants to play pinball. We know, Blake knows. So Jen is here for a $12 all access pinball.
Well, as long as they have Jen and I are on a crash course right now. We're on a crash course. Whew! This is just.
Oh my gosh.
This Matt, is just. I'm not sure I did the math a second ago correctly, but. I do this, she does that, I do that. So I'm stuck with that either way, so I might as well just pick the one I want.
You're the one that I want. You are the one I want. Ooh, 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 honey.
Actually, I can't use it. Oh, man. Yep. That just happened, guys.
Y'all, this could be it. This could be the moment. I just need to hold on to it. Oofa. Like, not yet. Like, opens up in front of him and he's like, that sure is a lot of tokens. You're like, I'm gonna make Jen take those -2 points if it's the last thing I do.
It's what's gotta happen. Holy moly, just got absolutely dominated. Whew!
Matt, I've never seen that happen before. Somebody get all the way to the end of the negative track like that. And I'm still stuck in those bits. This is a problem. See, this is very precarious, y'all, because the big spaces that are reserved for protecting against places have been stalled out, and that's not good.
-14. Wow. Just wow.
When am I coming? I don't know. When am I coming?
Turns out I should have grabbed that 2 red earlier instead of grabbing the one I need in the middle. But Jen's also in a rush. She's only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 spots. We can draft Jen into some negative points this round. We can do it. Mm-hmm.
Matt, I cannot believe I'm still 1 point behind you after that round. That is fascinating to me.
That's not what I wanted. Oh, that's fine. That would have been fine. Just mumbling to myself, y'all. Don't worry about it. Just don't mind me. Do I want to end the game? Here's the question. Do I want to end the game? I guess we don't have to make the decision right now. But we can bully Jen out of that. I think that's...
Don't be a bully.
We're not going to bully her out of that. That's the thing.
You know, I didn't even know that you realized that your top row was...
I got some good rows happening here.
Huh. Yeah, just stalling out on those bottom ones has been very troublesome. Very problematic.
Yep.
For moi. Good news is I know Matt doesn't want those yellows. Has 0 use for them, so that's kind of good for me. I have a sister-in-law that never ends a game. Concordia gets brutally long. Whoa, the lake has said publicly that they will pay for the $12 for my entry fee to All Day Pinball.
Seems like a pretty good deal to me.
Seems like a good deal to me. Compelling as ever.
Let's see, what else on the entertainment side?
Yeah, I have to do this.
We had the Formula One race last weekend in Mexico City.
That's right.
Very boring. It's very boring.
It was a very lively conversation for me. I had 2 people watching with me. Rebecca came down, watched the whole race with me, which means that I was answering questions the whole race.
The whole race.
The whole race.
That's a lot of answering of questions.
It was a lot of answering of questions that was happening. Another hate draft, a hate draft to open, and a hate draft to close from the hot
that's
crew.
just too many points. That's just 8 points for you right there. It's too much.
Didn't seem like too much to me. Now you have officially locked yourself out of that. So I'll do that. Matt, we also watched The Harder They Fall on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
It was very good. maybe it's too soon to dive deeply. Give folks a chance to watch it.
This was a topic of discussion for me last night, but what is everyone's favorite MCU movie? And what would you consider the worst MCU movie?
Oh.
Come on, everybody get in with the MCU takes. I've already participated in this conversation with Blake. He was at the table with me last night when we were talking about
this. So favorite MCU movie, not favorite MCU movie. Wow.
All right, get in here, y'all. Get in here, y'all.
I'm doing some quick math to make sure that I have to, it's a no matter what situation for me right now. Just double checking. That Matt has to go negative as well. I just have to go negative 2 extra points. So I take that.
Jen, you're getting some points this round.
All right. I did not do well on the bonuses. And by not well, I mean I got only 1, which is not good.
I've got 0 so far. So I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't end the game right there, Jen.
Yo, Matt, you didn't end the game. Let's go.
I threatened you with ending the game.
That's right. And
you're also now ahead by 1, so this is just...
I forgot. Least favorite is Thor 1. Thor 1 is pretty silly. I didn't enjoy Civil War, though. Civil War really sticks out to me as a movie that I didn't enjoy.
It has some couple of great scenes, some good set pieces, some exciting action, but you're kind of just like discouraged by the way we arrived at this action. You know, it's just kind of disappointing.
I wouldn't use the word hate, and I wouldn't call it the worst because I know it's not. It's just the one that constantly sticks out to me. But I think Thor Ragnarok is very redeeming, and it's hard not to just love that movie.
The movie's a lot of fun.
But also Iron Man, OG Iron Man. There's got a lot of love for that sort of character rebirth, and attachment to what's his face, sort of the rebirth of the actor. Wow, spacing time.
OG Iron Man is a good one. I mean, it was just so raw and new at the time. It was awesome.
Yeah. I mean, you go back and you look at it and you're like, okay, this is Robert Downey Jr. Thank you. It's good to, it's just hard not to like associate that with sort of his rebirth, his kind of re-entry into entertainment.
Yeah. Oh, this one's tricky, Jen. This is a tricky puzzle we got ahead of us with AZUL. Yeah, and then you got to talk about like Infinity War, Endgame. Like, are those movies good because of the payoff? Are they in and of themselves good movies? Infinity War kind of sticks out to me as the better of the two, but also, man, it just takes some liberties. It just throws you in. You start on that Ragnarok of not Ragnarok, that the evacuation ship from wherever that place that he's from. The place, that he's from.
Heimgard. Helmgard.
Heimdall is the
Heimdall is the person.
bridge guy. Come on, guys. So what is?
Is Idris?
Asgard.
Asgard. I wanted to say Rivendell.
Wow.
Really bad.
You wanted to say Rivendell there?
Right? You were thinking Rivendell too?
The boat full of the Asgardians, just right out the gate, and you're just like, okay, yeah, we're doing this. Then we're in New York. We got Doctor Strange. We got Iron Man. We got the Hulk. Doing not Hulk things. Spider-Man. I mean, just like they just take so many liberties with that movie.
So there was Spider-Man Homecoming. So the new Spider-Mans are great. I don't put Spider-Man in my favorite, even though that game is just maybe hands down one of the best games I've ever played. Because I think the reboots are hard. Like, it's the same thing with Hulk, like Hulk's never going to be a top movie. We also didn't put it at the bottom. Like, didn't put Thor at the bottom versus Hulk stuff. But those two are never going to be at the top because
Whoa, Jen.
Whoa, Matt.
So you definitely don't want those four.
The reboots are rough.
You could take those two. That'd be fine for you. You care about those two? Nope. Can't do that. Cool. Oh no, that left me in a bad spot. Left me in a bind. Yeah, that was the wrong order for me. That was the wrong order for me.
Y'all just locked in a bonus that I think might be game winning.
Could be. It might be. -4, -7. Yeah. Another -11 for me, y'all. Another -11.
Oh, let's see how it goes.
Big score. Small score.
1. I've just been waiting to get that 1 point the whole game.
+5, +7.
Oh, gosh.
+3.
Shoot.
1, but we both got a +10. But Jen's got it because she's got a +10 and a +7.
And a +2.
Jen's got it. She came back with redemption.
Ooh.
Well done. I think I just lost that. I lost that at the end. Negative points are the worst. I know. We talk about point aversion. Loss aversion. Good job, Jen. Good job.
Did it. I can continue to smack talk until next Thursday.
She can. But this is how this works. We just play it until I win, and then we stop playing it. Isn't that how it works?
Oh, it's a good day to be Team Jen.
You deserved that one, Jen.
Whew, thanks.
You made some strong moves.
Thanks, Matt.
Some aggro
moves. Well, hey, that's so Formula One and this negative point business with this first player token are great examples of first player advantage.
You did go first this round, Jen.
I did go first
in this game.
So I was having an interesting conversation. When your wife's downstairs watching Formula One with you asking questions, you're bound to have an interesting conversation at some point in those questions. So we're talking about pole position, and Rebecca's like, so they go fast. The fastest person gets to be in front. And I was like, yeah, because Formula One's not just about racing. Um, in that day, in that moment, it's everything leading up to it. You know, it's the practice rounds, it's qualifying, it's like getting to know the track, trying to do your best on the track, putting out your best effort, your best foot forward in qualifying potentially, arguably, even more important than the race itself. And then it's the race on Sunday. She's like, well, how is that fair? I was like, well, what are you talking about? I mean, like, if a person manages to get pole position, they've earned the right to be up there. And she was like, but how could last place ever possibly catch up? You know, her point was, if first place is the fastest person, the last place is the slowest person, how are they ever going to catch up? I was like, well, there's a couple of things going on there. One, it'd be super dangerous for the first person for the slowest car to be in first place. You know, she's like, it should just be random. I'd be like, I mean, there would people would be seriously injured if the slowest car was up front all the time. That would be very problematic. So there's a little bit of there's safety involved in reasoning behind that, and also we're talking about milliseconds most of the time. The difference between first place and last place, pretty small, pretty slim margins. We're gonna get to why this is important in board games too in a second, I promise. But also, it's not always an advantage. And we saw that in Mexico on Sunday, where we had a pole position leader who, without the ability to clearly maneuver, because you know what, it's really hard to see behind you when you're going 200 miles an hour or trying to get up to 200 miles an hour. And all you're doing is creating pristine conditions for the people behind you to swing around and catch up pretty quickly. They have better launches out the gate, and if you don't manage the track correctly, like our pole leader, the pole position person, who is in arguably the fastest car in Formula One right now, still managed to lose and never came back in that race. Ended up in 17th place or something like that, man.
He did get knocked out in the first turn.
Well, that was after he had lost.
He did.
Pole position. So not always an advantage. Being up front is not always an advantage. And I was just thinking about it a lot. And Matt and I, we talked about it in the context of Formula One, but being in first place is not always a good thing. But we hear it talked a lot about in board games, right? Who like, is there a first player advantage? When is there not? This idea of fairness. It's kind of the core here. Does fairness belong in board games? Like, there has to be this sort of baseline understanding.
Does balance matter?
To have when you sit down to play a board game, or any game? What, like, there's this idea that there needs to be this level playing field or this level baseline. So that's where I want to start the conversation, Matt.
Yeah. So there's two parts of this conversation, right? There's the first player advantage, like starting the game first, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then also in all of these round structures where we've created, or all these games that create round structures that first player is variable, you know, as simply as Parks with the reserve token, to Brass with its payment mechanism, you know, to Viticulture with the wake up row. Like, going first, one, there's always, here's the deal. Going first is because Monopoly ruined us on this one, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is one of those, I'm not trying to dog on Monopoly, but, you know, you get to go first in Monopoly, you pretty much have an advantage. You're going to get out, you're going to be able to purchase the stuff before everybody else.
Unless you're rolling twos over and over and over again, you are going to have first pick all of the time.
So people they intrinsically have a bad feeling. Two, you know, there is something intrinsic to like having that open board, everything in front of you, whatever you want to do, let's go. Like, you get to set the rules. You set the tone for the game. I think about in brass, when you go first, you have the ability to stay first. Because if you spend nothing, and it's the way brass works, whoever spends the least amount of money every round moves to the top of the round order, and then it goes from least spent to most. So if you're first, and you get that one turn, you get to put down you take a loan or scout. You didn't spend anything, you stay at the top, and then you get to see what other people get to do. That's super advantageous, and throughout the course of the game, you want to be first in different points of the game.
But then, contrarily, in a similar, I'll use the marketing, another market game as a counter example. Pan Am is a market game, worker placement game, where it uses a push your luck kind of thing down at the bottom, where you can dump workers to avoid being in first, because going first in places, it might seem like an advantage, but again, like Matt's saying, you really want to see what people are doing, so you sacrifice that. You can subvert it and sacrifice that first position to end up last on the board and getting to make that ultimate final decision of the round.
Yep. So it's interesting. Blake asked the question. Blaze asked the question, do you think fairness is required for board games? One of the interesting things about board games, and really just this is most strategy video games too, is the idea of player balance. So you don't actually have to have a balanced game, because everyone has, if you offer everyone equal opportunity to everything in the game. If there's a strategy that's overpowered, well, guess what? You have a check and balance system of the other players. If like they're going to get a ton of points from losing soldiers in battle, warriors in battle, i.e. Blood Rage, right? Well, you just avoid that play style. You can play on a different side of the map with other players and collectively win that way. So the first player advantage is just interesting though, because it is it's not checked by other players. It can be in really great games by saying like designing the game so that going first might not be the most advantageous, like Jen was just talking about with Pan Am. But it's a challenging piece. But I think the thing that I just keep coming back to is like it's also just a mentally challenging piece. Like when you're not first, you're last. It goes to turn order too. Like people just start that way. They feel that way. They loss aversion. They've
already lost some piece of the game.
Yeah.
Even if however first player is disseminated or figured out, like you've already lost something in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Stone just pointed out Catan. They try to solve the Catan going first with the snake draft. It's like you get the best spot on the board, but you probably get the least valuable spot on the board. Not sure that actually works in reality. It's like also you just get
but that brings up here's a good thing, right? So like this good piece of this branch is the fact that when we're designing board games, we're thinking about that. We're recognizing that as designers and developers, and we're saying this is clearly an advantage. We use that word advantage, and then we say, how are we compensating for it? And this is where we get the onset of rubber banding and band-aiding games, where you have these compensation rules that really have nothing to do with the core of a game, the core of gameplay. They're usually just additive. They make games. They end up being these things that rules that people talk about as being like, this is just extra. It's an extra thing to learn. And it's compensating for something. And I just wonder, to your point here, like in Catan, that is an example of an extra rule. We could just randomly get 2 locations or something. You could roll for assignment or something like that, right? It could be any number of different ways. That could just be one faster thing that happens in the game that gets you to actually playing the game instead of trying to solve for something and maybe reinforces that it's a feel bad moment.
Blake says best way to level the playing field: make the first player selection based on who was the last to visit a national park. It's an awful first player rule, in case you guys are wondering. It's the right first player rule to put in the rule book.
So like I legitimately get questions on social media that's like, okay, but what if we've never visited a U.S. national park? Figure it out.
But I went to a national park last with my spouse. We both went to the same one.
Also those.
Figure it out. Yeah, so I don't know. Again, I think I'm trying to think of like, it does feel bad. I was playing a Great Western Trail. And Great Western Trail, second player gets 1 more coin. Third player gets 2 more coins. Fourth player gets 3 more coins than the starting player.
Yep.
Does that? It's like it's actually like in that game going first feels awful. Now you do have the opportunity to potentially like go grab a trade with a tribe that's more valuable, but also like again you're putting down with no information. You get the first spot, but you're not blocking anybody.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a worker placement game. At least you're blocking someone. Think about viticulture, right? If you're going first, I think viticulture is really interesting. I'm on a win streak on viticulture right now. I've won like.
He hasn't played me recently.
I haven't played Jenny recently, and so maybe that needs to change. But people love that 2 wake up row. It like gives you a crop, gives you a grape.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, okay, I got to go. Like, I'm probably gonna go first. Like, no one's gonna really hop up to that one spot and take first.
Yeah. That two wake up. It's
but the real deal is just going 6. You get a point.
Or going 5th and getting the extra worker, getting a free extra worker, going last, getting a free extra worker, and getting to just do an extra thing every single round. Hello.
Could be good. But people want to go first. You want the freedom. You don't want to get blocked out of stuff. And I always think that's super interesting. Azul's a great example of just being the way that it's like, hey, you have to pay a point to go first every round. Mm-hmm. Again, that's another thing.
And then what we learned from last game, you had a ton of negative points last game. Sorry for cutting you off, but you had a ton of points last game, and negative points. You just kept taking negative points and it worked in your favor. You like immediately figured out that like it seems like a bad thing, but it's not.
Negative points are just paths to positive points.
So the puzzle in Azul is just recognizing it's okay to take negative points.
Stop the game and go to one.
A national park. If you.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. True.
What's the solve for that? It's facts.
Yeah. I'm not sure I have much more to add, Jen, other than just be wary. This is my encouragement to folks out there. Don't fall into the first player trap.
Yeah. It's okay.
It's okay. It's great to be first. It's great to be last. Every place should feel like it has a path to victory. Positive mental outlook.
Yeah. Maybe that's just the challenge is like that we're never going to be able to fix that. I mean, the other side of the coin is the co-op mode. In cooperative, you kind of get to choose unless the game tells you otherwise, but I'll just use Untitled as an example here. We get to choose who's going first, who gets to take their actions first. So you're puzzle solving that together. You're strategizing, which almost kind of reinforces that like there are best case scenarios for everybody that involve going first, second, and third. It sort of like lays into that even a little bit more. But when you're working on it together, it's totally okay, and you feel clever for doing that. So the encouragement to back up what Matt's saying, the encouragement there are clever things to do in each position. As a game designer and developer, we definitely have responsibilities to make sure that we're offering those opportunities at every player count. As a player and a consumer, stop worrying so much about first player.
Jen's exasperated now. She's like, stop worrying about it.
Just stop worrying about it. Unless you're making $30 million racing race cars around tracks, stop worrying about it.
I don't think they're making 30 million. I don't think the contracts are that big.
Actually, Lewis Hamilton is making 30 million.
30 million, that's his
Nobody
contract?
else. Verstappen's making 25.
I mean, Verstappen's never won a championship, and Lewis Hamilton has won 7. So
Oh, I'm not questioning the difference between those two things. I was like, Verstappen has not won a world championship yet, so
he's gonna win this year.
the fact that he's second, he's going to, yes, but the fact that he hasn't yet and is making almost as much as Hamilton is very interesting.
Mr. Stone just brought up Wingspan's first player and the rotating first player.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out on rotating first player.
Also, because Wingspan, most of the time it's an uneven number of first players opportunities, right? It just it just comes back. It comes back to like some of the time you put a 3-player game on the table and somebody's getting to go first twice, and you're just like, oh.
Yeah. All right, I gotta look through real quick. First player rules. Tyrants random. War of the Ring. Fellowship goes first. Twilight
Which is
Imperium.
just story based. That's pretty great. War of the Ring is that like I'm for that.
They just tell you
one side's just going first and it's just theme based.
Rising Sun. It's set for you based on your clan you select.
Yeah.
All turn orders based on clan. Everdell random. Journeys of Middle Earth. Co-op. Valhalla.
Mr. Stone mentioned youngest player goes first is a repeat very frequently. Yeah, it really is.
That feels does that feel bad? That feels bad.
It feels bad for youngest player, honestly. Like that you're just like constantly spotlighted in a way that like puts a target on your back.
Like Lost Ruins. Guilty of giving you arbitrary things, giving you coins and exploration points based on player order.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond the Sun is open and random, no bonuses. No, there's steel bonuses. Brass is random. Dune Imperium, random. Man.
Can't be creatures, simultaneous gameplay, y'all. Just throwing it out there. Just make it simultaneous and you don't have to worry about it anymore.
Or you just make a really dry Euro where you're doing your own. It's a solitaire with other people, you know?
We're all basically doing the same thing at the same time and you're not interacting with other people and therefore everything's fine.
Exploding Kittens. Whatever reason has whatever goes for it.
I'm here for it.
And you know people that works for them, so. Jen, it's 11:04. Man, short stream today. Look at us.
What?
Short stream.
We got to talk about stuff. We got to talk about us stuff.
Oh, we got more stuff. That's right. Oh, let me get a browser up.
You got to get a browser up. I was going to compliment Exploding Kittens on being a rulebook that says, the one and only rulebook that says, don't read us. Don't read this book. I love it. I haven't seen a rulebook do better than that yet.
I'm pulling up our website, Jen.
You're pulling it up. Hey,
boom.
So
our website.
That's our topic. If you have more to say about first player advantage, throw it in chat. We can still come back to it. I broke that rule immediately by reading the rule book. First rule of the game, and you broke it. But we've got some fun things going on this week. We haven't even talked about what's going on with Keymaster. Turns out it's been a big week. Last week we were super busy. At the beginning of this week we were super busy. But we have a new website to show for it. Matt's got it pulled up. It's been a lot of work for the whole team. When you're 4 people, it's a lot of work. But we're really excited to have this new website up and running. A lot of opportunities, a lot of new ways to explore the brand and get to know us, and be a place that you can come back, that you can come back to and continue exploring with new content as time goes on. So really excited to have this up and running. Welcome to our new site.
It's all new.
It's all new.
Which and on the site as well, Trails. It's here.
What am I supposed to?
I think it was here last week, right?
It was. So last week we also announced that Trails and the Deluxe resources were available on our site for the first time. They released on our website, which we were super excited about. Trails still available, still kicking. Those Deluxe resources, though, they went in a flash, Matt. They were there, and then
And they
they
were
went.
gone.
And then they were gone. But not to worry, we'll have more back in early December. The restock of those deluxe resources is on a boat right now. Should be pretty close to pulling into U.S. waters, local U.S. waters here, which is very exciting. And then we just have to wait for it to get unloaded and get to the warehouse, which is just a big old waiting game on our part.
Always with the waiting.
Always with the waiting. What do you do for your job, Matt? We wait. Sit around and wait.
All the time.
Yep. Mr. Stone, I'll let you answer this, Matt. How similar is Trails and Parks?
They're familiar, not similar. Trails, you only have one hiker. You are still moving that hiker directionally down a trail, stopping at a place, and you're taking an action. So in that manner, it's similar. There are opportunities, specific spots on the board that allow you to trade in resources to earn badges. The badges, though, have instant actions and points. But beyond that, everything else kind of breaks down. Again, you've only got the one hiker. You're hiking back and forth down the trail, left and right, back and forth. The trail is changing by flipping each trail side over to a more powerful side as the game progresses. So you're not actually shuffling the trail together, on different seasons. There's a dice. There's a dice in Trails. So there you want a cool printed wooden dice.
Die.
Come and get it.
Singular, Matt. Die.
Die. There's a die in Trails. Also plays in 20 to 40 minutes.
Legitimately, too. Not just box plays.
Like we timed it. On Tabletop Simulator, my record for playtime in 2-player is 19 minutes. In person, it's much faster. It's 16. So.
Yep.
Mr. Stone, not only is it interesting, but it's also $20. It's a lot easier to get in on that.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Super portable, super small. Oh gosh, super small box. Nice, compact, size of my face. Box with all new artwork from the 59 Parks print series. It's totally different artwork in this game from Parks.
All right, Jen. So we've been doing that. We've also been working on fellow coffee. We've also been working on a little holiday shopping, huh?
Little holiday shopping. Been doing a little more holiday shopping. Ready for this, Matt? Here's my. I got a holiday recommendation. A second holiday recommendation for gift recommendation.
I'm ready.
You ready?
Yep.
A rolling pin.
Like to roll out
for baking.
Doughs and stuff. Yeah. You've been watching Great British Baking Show.
Been watching Great British Baking Show. Rebecca's like, so we got einkorn, got some einkorn flour. The rumors are true. Einkorn, if you are so, Rebecca and I are both a little bit gluten intolerant. Oh, you, I see what you're doing. Love bread though, because we're both French, and bread is amazing. So it's really hard to ignore. And recently discovered einkorn as a flour alternative that is a little easier for our bodies to process, and we've been trying it out. Rebecca used it this weekend, made garlic knots and something else. Then we're not going to tell her that I forgot. Oh, she made a breakfast cake. That's right. She made a breakfast cake with blueberries and cinnamon sugar. Oh, it was so good. It was super tasty. It was a really nice, and you're able to eat it, and we are able to eat it, and just not feel so like heavy, and like our bodies are working way harder than they need to as a result of eating. So she's like, I think I'm ready to go down the rabbit hole officially, because those garlic knots, not as smooth as they could be, because she's not a rolling pin.
Here it is.
She does not.
Right here.
She does not want handled ones.
So
The
you,
French style rolling pin is the way to go. They don't have to be expensive, but they can be if you want to get a super fancy wood. An olive wood, a nice olive wood, or honestly, the marble right in the middle of the pricing range. I went with a maple because I actually like maple a little more than olive wood. It's just a personal preference, and I get to do the shopping, therefore it gets to be to my taste. We determined that last week as well. Um,
fine. We can get you a rolling pin, but I'm picking it.
that's right. She said no handles. She wants the French style, and that's what she's getting. What about you, Matt?
I think you should give the gift of coffee. To be
Always.
honest, just I think just that seems good.
Mm-hmm.
I myself, so I had a little conversation. I've been decaf. I've been drinking decaf now for 10 and a half months. All year I've been drinking decaf. I mean, I've had some caffeine in there too, but like
Mm-hmm.
my daily drinker is a decaf. And Lauren the other day, my wife the other day said, I'm just not craving coffee in the morning anymore. She was we went on decaf for her for adrenal support, um, and she was like, I'm just not digging coffee anymore. And I was like, whoa. Okay, does that mean that I can go back to drinking caffeine? And the answer is yes.
Oh,
So I'm thinking about coming back on by picking up
Matt,
a
are you
fellow
going to
drop for
join the drop?
myself.
Are you going to join the drop?
I think I'm going to join the drop. So that's the plan right here.
I did buy Matt, I bought this week's drop too. I'm very excited about it. It's a Kenyan bean. Very excited.
Anyway,
So yes,
you should give
Bridgewater
the gift
also
of
confirming
coffee.
that Bridgewater me said the French one before I said the French one. Correct. I agree.
So give the gift of coffee. If you're like, well, I don't, my friend's not a coffee file. That's fine.
Still give them the gift of coffee.
Give him the gift of coffee,
So,
nonetheless. That could also
so
just.
do you think that the question is, do you think that you're getting a white ode grinder for Christmas, Matt?
This is what Jen wants me to get. She wants me to get this right
I
here.
want you to do it. You want to do it. I want you to want to do it.
I don't
Stream.
need. I still.
You don't have to commit to anything, Matt. All you're committing to doing is receiving a text message on Tuesday that says, "This is the coffee you can buy this week. You can only buy it this week. Do you want to buy it? Here are the flavors. This is how much it costs." Type a number in and we'll do the ordering for you. Ordering is as simple as typing a number in. Or don't type a number in and you won't get the
Listen,
coffee.
I'm gonna join drop. I just don't want to do it on stream because not everyone needs to see all my stuff.
Oh, it's true. You do have to enter credit card information, so don't do that on stream.
But listen, hey, how do you feel about this like brown? The coffee's gonna get everywhere with this thing.
And coffee's gonna get everywhere. If I'm being completely honest, I would not want a white oat grinder. Um, if I was getting an oat grinder right now and had to choose between the two, I would still be getting the black one.
Let's see. Here we go. The stag
I mean, I
407.
get like, look, people have like new, like contemporary kitchens are super bright. They have like nice white marble countertops, right? Like light flooring, light wooden flooring, just bright all around. And I get that the black ode, so it's pretty big on the counter, so it would be like a dark spot. And this is a great contrast to that to keep your countertop feeling kind of bright and open. So I understand that, but like, hello cleaning.
Yeah, listen, I would just rather have this white kettle. They've got some
I mean,
great combos though.
even the kettle sits right next to the coffee thing, though. Like I also am very happy that they're the same color. I appreciate the thing that's not the same color is my scale, and I'm honestly tempted to buy another scale, even though my scale is perfectly adequate, just so it can be black and match everything else.
I think I want this blue stone plus maple one. I've already got a kettle. I don't need another kettle. What am I looking at kettles for? This is dangerous, y'all. Okay, what's the Stag Plus? Oh, it's got Bluetooth.
Nice.
And then you got
The
the.
blue one. The blue one is very nice.
All right, that's my holiday recommendation for the week is give
All
the
right.
gift of coffee. Tune in next week for another gift recommendation.
That's right. What was last week's gift recommendation? So we've got coffee rolling pin. If you've got for the baker in your family, for the coffee drinker in your family. Hello, fellow. Hello, rolling pin. Last week it was skateboarding. It's a new thing. Kids are on it. They're into it.
Skateboarding is back.
Skateboarding's back.
Skateboarding is back. Okay.
And Matt, what was your gift recommendation last week? This is going to be a game we play where we try to remember the things we've recommended.
Last week's recommendation.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to go into my history to look. I don't know.
I don't remember.
Was it a game? Video game?
No. I don't remember. We're gonna go find out, and then we'll revisit it next week. We'll be back next week with another recommendation. We're just over a month away, just at a month away from PAX Unplugged. Keymaster will be at PAX Unplugged in Philadelphia, December 10th through the 12th.
So much to do.
So much to do until then. Also,
remember when we were a month out from Gen Con?
Between then,
oh.
It's gonna be kind of the same. A little bit different, but kind of the same.
Different, but the same.
Whew, y'all.
All right.
Speaking of work,
I'm just gonna go right back here over to Board Game Arena. I'm gonna hit this propose a rematch.
Decline invitation.
Don't you do it. Don't you do it. She just wants to keep that win streak alive. Hey, one more update. Caper's still on his way. That's all you need to know. Still on its way.
I saw you have it up. You had it up earlier.
How to play parts on the Caper. Love it.
Oh, pretty much the same time that those deluxe resources arrive is going to be when Caper arrives at our warehouse as well. So they are on a similar trajectory, and we are willing them with all of our willpower, because that's what you can do when you're sitting around waiting.
Send us your energy. Send all the boats your energy. Send Savannah Port your energy and any able-bodied CDL drivers.
Positive energy and available truck drivers. That's what we need. Those are two things we need right now. That's it.
Right. Anybody else? Anybody got anything before we leave? Otherwise,
check my thing. I'm good.
I think we did the things.
We did the things. We didn't talk about the Harder They Fall other than to say, go watch it.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about that? Yeah.
We didn't talk about it. We just mentioned it. Just go watch it. If you haven't watched it yet, it is worth it. If you have a Netflix account, what are you doing not watching it? Go do it. It's worth it. Absolutely, it's a good time.
We got a couple nits to pick, but
didn't
detract from the overall.
No, not at all. We'll give you one more week. We'll give you one more week to watch before we do spoilery times. Spoilery times.
All right, folks. In that case, stay well. Enjoy. If you're in my part of the country, enjoy this weather. Continues to give us 3 seasons in one day.
It sounds like a great time.
Otherwise,
have a great rest of your week.
We'll be back on Thursday.
Yeah, see you next Thursday. Have a good weekend. Enjoy the rest of your week. Get it done. We'll be back here Thursday at 11 a.m.
Goodbye.
See y'all.